Alright, so it appears that when I record, the music's gonna stop, which I suppose is okay. Because generally, if I'm gonna record, I'm gonna kind of be talking at the same time, I guess. This is just a test run to see how the recording works out. My daily commute on the way home from work. This is about the busiest road that I'm on, other than the street that I work on, that we started on. And I get past a little bit, but once we get into the more urban area, I can usually keep up with traffic pretty well. Speed limit on this road is 35, and further up, coming the other way, there's a one of those speed signs that the police put out, and I found that when my speedometer says 40 miles an hour, that speed sign was saying I was going about 35. So take that for what it's worth. I'm riding a Wolf brand scooter RX50. It's a 50cc scooter. Right now we're in New Berlin, Wisconsin, on Cleveland Avenue. I try to stay close to the white line on the right, but as you can see, I'm going, speedometer says it looked like 42, and I'm keeping with traffic. Especially on the way home, it's all kind of downhill. You don't realize, small little inclines and declines when you're in a car as much as when you're on the scooter, because definitely a big difference in my speed on this road coming home from work than it is on the way to work. And you'll see up here when we stop at the stoplight, there's a little bit of an incline, and you'll see it takes me a little bit of time to get up to speed. So yeah, this I guess is my introduction to my scooter vlogs. I've been driving the scooter to and from work now for a couple of years, and of course I can't drive the scooter in the winter. I suppose I could, but it's pretty cold, and it doesn't do as well in snow, I would assume. Usually I just keep it in the garage. But as soon as I can in the spring, when the weather gets nicer, I try to get out on a scooter. It saves a lot of money and much more enjoyable. I've been seeing a lot more scooters. Maybe it's just because I have one and I drive one that I notice them a lot more, but it seems like there's a lot of people with scooters out there nowadays, and I got this one brand new for I think $1,200 a year ago. And it's probably already paid for itself in the amount of gas I've saved. So you can see now I'm easily keeping up with traffic. Of course, it's 25 miles an hour right here, and I'm actually going faster than that. I don't normally pay attention to my speed when I'm on this scooter, because I figure most of the roads I'm on are either 25 or 30 or 35 miles an hour. When I'm in the residential neighborhoods and it's later at night, I'll pay a little bit more attention to it, but I have noticed that if it's early enough or late enough at night that if I'm the only one on the road and I'm stuck at a stoplight, that it sometimes won't recognize that I'm there. This intersection in particular. And so I've had to make a right turn and make U-turns and continue to make right turns. That guy over there by the closed Boston Market, he's been there like every other day I come home. I don't know what he's doing. He's always facing that way. One day he was like walking backwards, kind of like he's doing now. He walked the whole length of the building. I don't know. Some interesting characters in this side of town. Suppose there's interesting characters everywhere. So anyway, I thought I would do a test run of the camera and my ride home from work. I'd like to try to make video tours of the Milwaukee area on the scooter, and because I haven't really seen a whole lot of YouTube videos of people on 50cc scooters, especially in the Milwaukee area. Today is June 18th. It's actually Father's Day. We're currently in West Allis. West Allis is a suburb west of Milwaukee. The name comes from a company that began here called Alice Chalmers. And the city popped up just west of the factory, giving it the name of West Allis. Kind of gets a bad rap in the metro area of being a little trashy, but my parents both grew up in this neighborhood or in this city, and a lot's changed over the years. You can see a lot of new investment, people, millennials moving into this area because it's a more affordable part of town, and it retains a lot of the character of old Milwaukee with corner bars and smaller local family-owned restaurants and grocery stores, while still being kind of in the heart of the city and close to all the big box stores. So the one big detour that I have to make every day on this route home from work is there's a park at that kind of is right in the middle of Cleveland Avenue, which is what I'm on right now. And it cuts Cleveland Avenue in half. So in order to get around it, you either have to take some of the more major arterials or cut through the neighborhood. And since I'm on the scooter, I tend to go through the neighborhood more often than not because less traffic. I actually can make better time going through neighborhoods and utilizing stop signs. instead of getting stuck at these traffic lights. I would say when I first got the scooter and I started riding, it was pretty scary. There was definitely a little bit of a learning curve to get comfortable driving on the street around cars that, let's just say this, people in the Milwaukee area tend to be a little more aggressive than they should be to begin with. But after doing it every day for a couple of years now, in the summers, I've definitely gotten more comfortable, and I kind of learned how to take different routes to stay away from more of the main roads, and just realizing that I'm in a very small scooter and need to know my place on the road, I suppose. Try to keep, make sure I stay to the right. This road right here is a main road through the city, 76th Street, main road going north and south. Milwaukee sits on Lake Michigan, so there's no real roads east of the city, obviously, because there's a lake there. But the streets kind of go out in a centripetal fashion from the downtown area, and this right here is Beloit Avenue, or Beloit Road, I think. It's one of the main roads in West Dallas that goes on a diagonal from downtown Milwaukee. Well, it doesn't quite reach to downtown Milwaukee. It ends in West Milwaukee, and it goes southwest So we did our little detour around the park, and now we're going to get back on Cleveland Avenue. Which, once you get west of the park, is actually pretty nice. They just repaved it not too long ago. I tend to do kind of a rolling stop at stop signs just because I don't want to put my foot down. But of course, if there's somebody else at the perpendicular road, I will stop and put my foot down. I feel like that's one of the benefits of being on a scooter is I can kind of roll through the stop signs a little bit quicker than a car. There's a lot of motorcycles in Milwaukee, in case you didn't know. Harley Davidson is based here and produces most of their motorcycles here. We have a Harley museum. And this year, I believe, is 152 years. I could be wrong. So every year they have what's called Harley Fest down at the lakefront. I think the Foo Fighters are going to be there this year, and thousands of people from all over the country and the world come with their motorcycle and have a big rally here in downtown Milwaukee. There's another scooter. So I'm turning onto a major road like this. This is 60th Street. It's 30 miles an hour. It takes a little bit of time for this scooter to get up to speed, so I'll take my time and wait. One, I don't want to get hit from behind, of course, and two, I don't really want to upset the other drivers on the road more than I already probably will, going as slow as I am. But we're coming to the end of the little intro video here, and I hope it turns out okay. If it does, I'll continue to do more tours and hopefully get some points of interest, and hopefully it gets, enough interest that I can start getting suggestions and